this time, I'll call to order the City of Joliet Council meeting for June 17th, 2025. Mayor Terry Darcy presiding. We'll start the meeting with a prayer from Pastor Eric Hamilton from the St. James United Body of Christ Church at 415 Parks Avenue right here in Joliet, after which the pastor will lead us in the pledge. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here tonight. Good evening, everyone. Let us bow our heads and pray. Dear Father, we want to say thank you. Thank you for our city. Thank you for our mayor and the councilman that leads this city. And we believe, Father, that you have great plans for this city. And God, as we come together to discuss those plans, we ask you to always be in the midst of us for peace, for vision, for understanding, and for compliance. And Father, I thank you for every resident of Joliet. I pray even today that their peace and the prosperity of their homes will be great, and that they will be satisfied with the pleasure of your presence in each and every home. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we begin with roll call, Councilwoman Ibarra is unable to attend due to an illness. She has requested to attend remotely, which will require council approval. Is there a motion to approve this request?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve the remote attendance of Councilwoman Ibarra. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Marino?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mayor? Before we proceed, I discussed it with the mayor, and he said he wants me to go ahead and lead this. We lost a local military hero and civic servant, longtime civic servant, on May 24th of this year. He had a sudden heart attack and passed. His name was Ira Smith, but he's known as Lou, the commander of the VFW on Horseshoe Drive. He did pass away, so we can all have a moment of silence and a prayer for him. Thank you, and I extend my condolences to his family from this dice. Thank you.
Okay, we'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy?
Here.
Councilman Cardenas?
Here.
Councilman Clement?
Here.
Councilman Hug?
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Here.
Councilman Moreno?
Here.
Councilman Mudrin?
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Here.
Under Mayor is a proclamation for District 86 Forest Park Individual Education School, presented by Councilman Cardenas.
All right. Proclamation. Whereas Joliet District 86 Forest Park Individual Education School has been recognized as a National School of Character. Forest Park IE was one of the 71 schools recognized nationwide by character.org. And whereas Forest Park was the only Illinois school to receive the School of Character honor this year. This is the second time Forest Park has received a National School of Character award, earning its first recognition in 2020. And whereas designations for schools and districts of character are made every 5 years, and individual schools and districts must meet rigorous standard articulated in the organization's 11 principles framework for schools. And whereas Forest Park IE has put in place a comprehensive approach to help students understand, care about, and consistently practice the character strengths that will help them flourish in school, in relationships, and in the workplace as citizens. And whereas Lori Seufer, who directs the School of Character program, stated, working together with students, parents, and community members, These schools are creating stronger communities focused on character. Now, therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby recognize District 86 Forest Park Individual Education School as a National School of Character. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Ryan Martinson. I'm the academic advisor at Forest Park. I have a statement on behalf of Mr. Darley, the principal. He has been the principal for 15 years. He was a product of the school, and he couldn't be more proud of this accomplishment. The history of the magnet school dates back to 1978. For nearly 50 years, Forest Park has used the same 4R philosophy. It's a real treat to receive national recognition from Character.org after refining our craft for such a long time. This recognition took a lot of commitment, hard work from every staff member and every student. We're proud to recognize Forest Park IE School as a National School of Character for a 10-year period from 2020 to 2030.
As District 86 Superintendent, I'm Dr. Teresa Rouse. I'm so proud of the work at Forest Park, not just of Mr. Darley and the staff, but of the students, of which there are several here tonight. And I'd love for them to have a chance to have a picture with City Council while we're here, because they do the hard work, the students and the staff, and they help make it what it is, which is a beautiful school that takes care of their students. We all care deeply for all of them, and this is a great honor, and we can't say thank you enough. We appreciate the recognition. And just on a side note, I'm so glad to see Councilwoman Ibarra there listening from a distance, so I wanted to personally call her out to thank her for calling me after the loss of our student a couple weeks ago. That phone call meant a lot to me. We both personally cried on the phone, and just that personal touch, I appreciate that. Councilwoman Ibarra, thank you. So thank you very much. If we could take a picture with the council, with all the students, staff members, parents.
Absolutely.
Board members.
Yeah,
we have board
absolutely.
members here too, so come on up, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, kiddos.
Get the parents up here too.
You can't see. The tall ones always stand in front of me.
You might have to take an end.
In front of the mayor now.
That's all right, I'm okay with this.
Take a knee.
You're okay. You're okay.
Pull up closer, she says.
Can you guys slide down about it? Perfect. Oh, no, now you're for me.
I'm good right now.
All right. Guys, you're being so tall.
Get to you, Joe. That was quick.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Good to see you. Thank you. How are you?
Hey, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yep. Great stuff.
Yes, they are. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quimmen?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Yeah.
Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak on an agenda item this evening?
Hey, everybody. Hey, on the memo number 364-25 about the free parking, I think it's great, you guys are finding the offering the free parking. But I got some questions. I think some, issues need to be hammered out first too, need to be included in this, I ask about people with disabilities. People with disabilities, I for one have disabilities and I could speak for them, that people with disabilities have difficulties in walking far distances and that, so finding a place to park and then, you're socializing with your friends and, I can't get out there and go move my car. And move it to a different zone, another different zone, way farther away, and try to walk back to the place, let alone when I leave the place, try to walk back to my vehicle and everything. It gets hard with people with disabilities. We don't have enough handicap parking spots around that area. I don't think they're comfortable for everybody. And that, which then if they have to again get up and move their car and everything leads to mental issues and that, and I don't have to go into how bad mental issues happen to people. People get frustrated, and then the income with people with disabilities with their low, federally funded or state funded income. It's not a lot to live on, let alone you ain't got enough to pay for fines and pay for tickets and that. I think these things need to be hammered out a little bit more to where you guys got to think about people with disabilities and how are they supposed to be able to afford this stuff and tackle it, and everything. And I think that needs to be worked out, because I remember last week I was over there at the thing at the library. Susan Ibarra had that thing at the library, and I had to park in the parking deck thing there. Yeah, try to find a parking spot and that, and park my truck and then walk down there to the library, and of course we got out at after 8 o'clock at night, and it's like I'm trying to get back to the parking garage. Hopefully I get safe there to the garage and get to my vehicle to leave. I mean, we don't have to tell you about the fact that we ain't got enough police in the town to be able to keep everybody safe. So I mean, you don't feel safe walking farther distances. You want to walk as short a distance as you can to your vehicle. And I think these things need to be hammered out because, I went around just today. I went around today with Senator Ventura, and Ventura is not even understanding my disability. She's wanting me to take deep breaths. I'm telling her I can't take deep breaths. If I take deep breaths, I'm going to pass out. You want me to pass out? Yeah, Senator Ventura wanted me to pass out right there in her office today, just about 40 minutes ago. And then because she thought I was going to try to hurt myself. I'm like, no, she's the one trying to make me hurt myself by making me try to take deep breaths when she can't even understand my disability that I have. So I want to ask you guys to take into account of people with disabilities here, or how are they supposed to hamper with this free parking, this zone things you guys got, because people with disabilities cannot get out there and keep moving their vehicles, and to try to limit their time they have with their friends. I can't tell you how much it's important to have friends and be able to socialize, especially with people with disabilities. It's about all we got is our friends to socialize, to keep us happy and to keep us going. So please, consider all of this when you do vote on it. I think it's great that we go free parking. I think it is great, but some things need to be hammered out a little bit more, I think. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item?
I want to speak on agenda item approval of a new position. Yesterday I was hearing a few comments and I definitely love the dialogue that took place, and also some of the commentary Mr. Hug had around it. I like the position. I don't feel that the timing of it is just right, just from some of the dialogue that took place yesterday. However, I do want to toss around the idea that I think will be a great event moving forward whenever the position does come in place. It's an idea called 815 Day that will happen in August on the 15th, yearly event in which will require a heightened police presence, and not only at the specific location of the event, potentially around the city, that executed properly. I do feel that it definitely it'll increase engagement of getting people downtown to experience downtown. across all socioeconomic levels inside of our city. It's an event that I feel that be woven inside the culture of Joliet, with really making sure everybody has fun down here, but also something that I think individuals take pride in. I know I spent a lot of time out of state, so whenever I had a phone call from somebody with an 815 area code, like, oh, well, they know a little bit about me, or not so much know a little bit about me, but I can definitely ask a few questions to, get some reports out of the conversation. But I think it would be a great event in terms of getting people excited about Joliet, something that will be tossed around social media, but also, more importantly, get people feel that synergy needed to make sure that Joliet is a place where we can live, work, and play. So when that position actually comes into play, if it is approved today or delayed, I think that'd be a great event for the people of Joliet. Again, 815 Day.
Okay, is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item?
Hi, good evening. My name is Monica Sisimov, owner of CNC Vision Gallery, downtown Joliet, at the corner of Chicago and Cass. I came here to impress upon council the importance of the regulated free parking, ordinance number 364-25. We desperately need the affordable access, increased foot traffic, and convenience. Whether or not you or I think that $1 or $1.50 an hour for parking is a pittance, I think that the public views this as a deterrent. We're at a time where accessibility is paramount to our businesses and the residents of downtown, and I hope council sees how beneficial this is. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak on an agenda item? Okay, I do have 4 letters of support to read regarding items on tonight's agenda. Dear Honorable Mayor Darcy and City Council, on behalf of the members of the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I am writing to share our strong support for the ordinance amending Chapter 19, Article 2 of the City of Joliet Code of Ordinances to establish 2-hour free street parking on weekdays from 7 a.m. through 7 p.m. in downtown Joliet in zones A, B, and C. This ordinance appears on the June 17, 2025 City Council meeting agenda as item 364-25. Implementing free parking in the downtown business district represents a strategic investment in the sustained economic vitality of our local businesses and the long-term growth, resilience, and prosperity of our downtown. Free and convenient parking has long been a priority for both business owners and their customers. Free parking offers clear economic benefits. It increases foot traffic and time spent downtown, boosting sales for shops, restaurants, and service providers. Even small increases in customer volume can be critical for small businesses, especially for those already operating on tight margins. It also improves downtown's image as a convenient, welcoming destination. We recognize that a parking policy must be balanced and thoughtfully managed. The Chamber of Commerce is committed to working with city staff and council members to provide feedback after the ordinance takes effect, helping ensure it achieves its intended goals. Thank you for considering this meaningful change. We urge you to see free downtown parking as a powerful catalyst for growth and a lifeline for the small businesses that anchor our downtown community. Sincerely, Jen Howard, President, Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This next letter is from Greg Pierbolt. In over 12 years leading the Joliet Area Historical Museum, I have seen firsthand what collaboration under the leadership of the City of Joliet can create. The old Joliet Prison project remains the subject of worldwide interest and a testament of the power of our community to transform a generational problem into an incredible opportunity. This extends to our cooperation on the Joliet Railroad Museum, Plant Insect Market Museum, and the forthcoming project to resurrect the world's first Dairy Queen building. When the city leads the way, everyone wins, and most importantly, things get done. We share Mayor Darcy's sentiment of the potential of downtown Joliet to act as not only an economic development anchor for the city, but the entire region with the highly anticipated completion of the City Square project. As we quickly approach the Route 66 Centennial, now just 6 months away, the need to align resources and provide leadership at the city level is critical. I am certain Joliet will play a visible part in state and federal celebrations, and this will rapidly justify this position. Please know that our organization is an enthusiastic partner in this endeavor and looks forward to working closely with this individual to build on our collective success. I appreciate your continued leadership and again extend my support. This is for support of the proposal to hire a Director of Cultural Affairs and Special Events, Council Memo Number 359-25. Mayor and City Council, my name is Mike Trizna, owner and day-to-day operator of Chicago Street Pub for the last 20-plus years. I have recently become aware that the City of Joliet is looking to create a position for a person who will oversee special events. I think for Joliet, this is a long overdue move forward and only has upsides. While there are individual events that Joliet runs, as well as independent events, we are severely lacking in coordinated events that happen throughout the year and throughout the city. We need a person with several attributes. We need a highly motivated individual who is experienced in running multiple events in multiple locations. We need someone who can put the right non-paid committee together to fulfill the needs of each event. We need this individual, most importantly, to be well-versed in public events and have the background and connection necessary to find and book a wide array of talent. The City of Joliet has a wonderful history of events, but has recently fallen short of surrounding communities and new ideas, high and mid-level city-run events, and smaller events spread throughout the city. This could be easily connected with the right individual in charge, not just a group of people with little to no experience doing something in their spare time. While nobody expects an immediate 180 regarding special events, there's an obvious need for a coordinator. With the ownership of a minor league stadium, control over a wonderful theater and park, Bicentennial Park, the new city center stages, new streets, and many wonderful parks and open areas, we need a new yet experienced voice to fill these places with different multicultural events, parades, and more. While I am just one voice of many, I hope the City Council takes my opinion to heart and thinks hard about adapting this new position. I truly believe it will benefit Joliet in many ways. Thank you, Mike Trizna, Chicago Street Pub. Dear members of the Joliet City Council, Mayor Darcy, I am writing to express my support for the proposed creation of a city events manager position. I believe this role would be vital to the effective planning, coordination, and oversight of many events hosted throughout the Joliet community. Each year, the Chamber organizes an event that draws approximately 5,000 guests. The city's current application process would benefit greatly from the guidance and management of a full-time dedicated employee. As Joliet enters a period of renaissance and redevelopment, the need for a professional events manager becomes even more critical. This individual would serve as a key point of contact for event organizers, helping to ensure compliance with city policies and procedures. In addition to streamlining event coordination, this role could also serve a broader purpose by actively recruiting new events that align with the city's goals, particularly in the areas of arts and culture. A proactive approach in this regard could foster innovation and bring fresh, engaging programming to Joliet. Smaller or emerging organizations in particular would benefit from having a knowledgeable city staff member to guide them through the process of planning and executing events. Regardless of size, location, or profit status, whether downtown or on the west side, every event requires proper oversight to ensure both safety and success. Thank you for considering this important addition to the city's team. I am confident that establishing a city events manager position would have a positive and lasting impact on the vibrancy and growth for our community. Sincerely, Jen Howard, President, Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Okay, that's all I have. Next is Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a motion to appoint Councilwoman Ibarra to serve as Mayor Pro Tem for the term July 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Can I ask Todd Lindsay, am I allowed to vote for myself?
Did you vote for yourself in the election?
Okay, aye. As long as it's legal, aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Of course, yes.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next are council committee reports. Communication, Technology, and Information Systems is first.
Okay. CTIS committee met Wednesday, June 4th at 8:30 a.m. in the executive conference room. On the committee and in attendance were Councilman Cesar Cardenas and Councilman Juan Moreno and myself. We had 2 agenda items. The first one was award of a contract to Lenovo for 2025 PC Lifestyle Program for $76,372.70. Current replacement program is 3 years for laptops, 4 years for desktops. The new cloud-based equipment would extend the lives of both of those units by an additional year. To ensure the competitive prices, we will be purchasing through US MHEC purchasing contract. We will also be replacing some monitors with larger size to avoid having to add a third monitor in some departments. Can't even imagine that, but anyway, our second item was award of contract to Videotech for physical access control projects at Fire Station 1 for $34,161 as part of the city's effort to unify all facilities under centralized Genetech's. We've been updating the security access for various locations starting in 2022 with the police department, city hall, train station, and now Fire Station 1. The committee had discussion on both items and voted unanimously to bring them both to the full council for your recommendation to approve. Is there anything else? Okay,
Nope.
That's our report.
Thank you.
Next, we have finance.
Finance Committee met here at 5:30 this evening. On the committee is Councilwoman Reardon, Councilman Hug, and myself. The items that we approved are on the agenda today. The first one being the Director of Cultural Affairs and Special Events, this creation of a new position to bring additional events into our community to improve quality of life and to provide additional economic activities to our businesses in the community. Monthly financial reports were given by Mr. Singh. General fund revenues are coming in slightly better than budget. Notably positive trends towards state income tax, video gaming tax, interest income, and charges for services. Overall, general fund expenses are trending below target. Sewer and water revenues are trending at budget, and expenses are slightly below budget there, and parking is trending according to budget. The library gave us their quarterly report. They have 131,547 visitors who checked out 194,494 items. They provided 1,332 programs with over 40,000 attendees. Our city travel report, while the report is larger than normal, it also includes both past and future. Also, the majority of the training for members of our public safety departments, police and fire, are part of it. Sherry, Larry, that'd be my report.
Thank you.
And public service.
Public Service Committee met here at City Hall in the City Council chambers yesterday at 4:30 in the afternoon, June 16th, 2025. On the committee in attendance was Councilwoman Reardon, Councilman Mudrin, and myself. We had 5 contracts we looked at. Most of them were small and had to do with the sewer department, ranging one from $52,000 for the wastewater treatment expansion project, West Side, $56,000 for traffic signal materials. There was a traffic light that was damaged when a ComEd power line fell on it, and it damaged some of the computer components. So we need to approve it, we need to repair it, and then that repair will be submitted to ComEd through their claims department. They should be paying for it, unless they say no, which they shouldn't. There was $42,000 for replacement of Councilwoman Reardon's favorite word, sluice gates. $152,000, $152,500 to be precise, and that's a yearly payment for wastewater discharge permit fees to the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency that we are required by law to pay. And then we looked at $895,000 contract to be awarded to P.T. Farrell for the road improvements of county line between Van Dyke Road and Kennedy Drive, which will be turning that portion of the road to meet up with the other portion that's already been improved farther north into an entire 4-lane roadway. So that will help with traffic flow out there. All 5 items were unanimously approved to be sent forward with committee recommendation that the whole council approve it today. We looked under change orders, pay estimates, and final payments. Pretty routine. I'm only going to point out a couple, or actually one particularly, where again, and I like to discuss this when this comes up, or point out to it, to shed some light on it. Change order number 3 for the Olympic Boulevard improvements which is a net deduction of $1.8 million. So we came in under what our projected budget would have been. I believe there was some creative engineering that helped us do that. And so it's good to report that we didn't have to spend the extra $1.8 million. So we closed out that contract with $226,410 as a final payment. The other 4 items under change orders, pay estimates, final payments, as I said, were routine and are certainly available online if you want to scrutinize them, or as former President Bush would say, if you want to scrutinize them. So you're welcome to go look at them, but they're pretty routine. And again, we looked at all 5 of these items and unanimously approved the recommendation that they be sent to the full council with the council approving them. Under is an ordinances and resolutions, and I've not done this before, but I'll do it briefly today. Generally speaking, the vast majority of ordinance and resolutions are, once you approve a road improvement, a contract, a payment or disbursement, then you have to do a formal step, and we refer to it, you'll hear us say it sometimes up here as housekeeping, a formal step to say, okay, we approved it up there, and now we're approving that we can actually pay for it. So everybody likes to get paid when they do work, and the city's certainly happy to pay a fair wage to everyone. So that's generally most of that. The exception sometimes on ordinance and resolutions are intergovernmental agreements. We didn't have anything like that, or oftentimes it will be drive-through permits. Very common to come under ordinance and resolutions. So I'm not going to itemize the 6 items under ordinance and resolutions other than to reference that, again, all 3 of us looked through them with staff, found them to be in order, and unanimously approved all 6 to be sent to the full council with committee recommendation to be approved here as well. And that's all I have, unless I missed anything.
No, that sounds good.
Do you want to say sluice gate again?
I want to tell why I think it's called sluice gate, but I won't.
Okay. That's my report, ma'am.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of minutes. It is recommended the minutes of the special city council meeting held on May 5th, 2025, and the city council meeting held on May 6th, 2025 stand approved as recorded. Invoices to be paid. It is recommended this report be approved. Council memo number 345-25. Award of contract for the 2025 traffic signal materials purchase, order number 3, to the Traffic Control Corporation in the amount of $56,156. Council memo number 346-25. Award of contract for the County Line Road, Van Dyke Road to Kennedy Drive roadway improvements project, MFT section number 24-00569-00 WR to PT Farrow Construction Company in the amount of $895,000.06. Council memo number 347-25, award of contract to Videotech for physical access control project at Fire Station 1 in the amount of $34,161. Council memo number 348-25, award of contract to Lenovo for the 2025 PC Life Cycle Program in the amount of $76,372.70. Council memo number 349-25, approval of professional services agreement for the geotechnical services for the West Side WWTP expansion project to Seco Consultants Incorporated in the amount of $51,965. Council memo number 350-25, approved purchase of replacement sluice gates for the East Side wastewater treatment plant from LAI and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $41,700. Council memo number 351-25, approved cost adjustment for 13 Navistar chassis purchases from 2023 for $256,313.20. Council memo number 352-25, approval of amendment number 2 to the Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3 professional engineering services for the Joliet Centralized Traffic Management System Improvement Project, MFT section number 21-00546-00TL to Iteris Incorporated in the amount of $149,919.73. Council memo number 353-25, approval of change order number 1 for the Well 28D rehabilitation project to Great Lakes Water Resources Group in the amount of $26,668.65. Council memo number 354-25, approved change order number 2 for Olympic Boulevard Humboldt Road Improvements Project, section number 21-00544-00-PV to PT Farrow Construction Company in the amount of $248,128.09, and payment request number 12 and final in the amount of $414,880.37. Council Memo Number 355-25, approve change order number 3 for Olympic Boulevard improvements, section number 21-00544-00PV to D Construction Incorporated, a deduction in the amount of $1,809,268.20, and payment request number 15 and final in the amount of $226,410.84. Council Memo Number 356-25, approval to upgrade furniture, tables, chairs, and podium in the Joliet Police Department Community Room from Midwest Office Interiors in the amount of $47,180.95. Council Memo Number 357-25, approve the payment of the 2025 wastewater discharge permit fees to the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, IEPA, in the amount of $152,500. It is recommended Council Memos 345-25 through 357-25 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is agenda items. Council Memo Number 359-25, approval of new position. It is recommended Council Memo Number 359-25 be approved.
Mayor, I have a question, please. Beth, what exactly do we pay the City Center Partnership for?
City Center Partnership is a SSA, a special service area with defined boundaries on Collins Street and downtown. And tax dollars pay for the SSA, and they
I
are
understand that. I'm just saying
responsible.
they usually have somebody in charge there because they had a couple of people, they used to do all their parades and special events. They'd have paws down there to raise funds for animals that were not cared for, and they always had an event down there. So I'm wondering, do they not have that anymore, and are we still paying them for that?
They still have events. They still do the Christmas parade. They're assisting with other community members to have the Mexican Independence Day parade this year.
Mm-hmm.
They do have, various events downtown, like it's escaping me now what the name of it is, but there's a Valentine's Day one. There's just like certain events that they have to try to bring people downtown,
Mm-hmm.
especially during construction, to help the businesses survive. And they do like a restaurant week,
Mm-hmm.
number of other things.
So we're
as well.
paying them for that. So if we hire this new position, why are we still going to pay them?
So, Kevin, do you want to explain the nuances of what an SSA is,
Yeah,
TIF?
so the SSA is only for the downtown or the benefit of the
I know what
properties.
that's for. I'm talking, this is for downtown.
Yeah.
So, I know what that is.
So most of the funding that we provide at City Center Partnership runs the organization and is grants back to businesses to locate there. A large percent of it is not for event-related items.
I just want to add that City Center Partnership does provide grants for the downtown businesses, but they also work with the businesses individually for business retention and to try to promote more businesses to the downtown area.
Thank you.
Mayor, quick question here. What's the total amount? I said 50 or 80,000 last year. What's the total amount that they get in tax dollars?
For CCP?
Yes.
I'll look that up for you.
It's to my understanding that we don't pay CCP. It's a special tax that's collected on the property owner's taxes that is collected for.
That live just in the SSA.
Yeah, so
You're
only
correct.
the SSA businesses pay a special tax that gets collected by them for that. So we as Joliet don't give the CCP money.
Right.
Well, yeah.
It flows through the city. I'm looking at. Looking that up.
Mayor Darcy, can I ask a question?
Sure.
The CCP, those people, those aren't dedicated positions, right? They all have other jobs and they're just utilizing what they can for the downtown. This particular position is a dedicated position citywide for events and multicultural events as well. And let me just say, this is for people that look like us, and this is actually for people that don't look like us as well. Because with the Mexican Independence Day Parade, going forward, my community in District 5 would also like to have a Black Pride Parade, and who do we go to for that? So I'm absolutely in support of this. We're about 20 or 30 years behind of other municipalities that already have special events coordinators. Naperville, Chicago, Springfield, Evanston, Arlington Heights, Aurora, Crystal Lake, I could go on and on and on. And every single one of these communities have event after event after event year round. And this is where Joliet needs to catch up. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
So in '24, we paid them just over 100,000.
Those tax dollars flow through us, but the people who are within the SSA boundaries pay into a special tax, which is why it's called SSA, Special Tax Assessment, for just the properties in that area.
And that 100,000 were not just, that was their total operation. So they get to, we reimburse them for their operating cost, not just their events. So that's to operate CCP, in addition to run the event.
Thank you. Mayor. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, just real briefly, I have taken everybody's email, phone calls, text messages very seriously. Larry, I hear what you were saying yesterday. Nobody wants to keep creating positions, but, we spent $22 million downtown, right? And somebody has to organize this stuff. And Beth, you even said it. We're going to report back to you. Let us do this. And that's why I don't want to create positions, but and this is the mayor's vision. This is your vision, and I'm going to support it because this is, we spent $22 million. You said you're going to hold this person accountable. We're going to do it. So we're going to hold your feet to the fire. Well,
Please do.
Anyway, so,
yeah, do.
Yeah.
Always challenge me,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Can only make me better.
I know I made a few comments last night. I just want to reiterate a couple things. When I ran for mayor, I did so with a commitment to improving our community. I hear this thing, we're blue collar. I take offense to that. We're a great community of great people. We work hard, we save our money, we want to have fun like every other community I know of. We're just a great community, but there's a lot of love here, and I really think that part of what this term is cultural affairs. We're a very wonderfully diverse community, but everybody seems to be going in different ways. We need to get someone to bring this umbrella together so we can all enjoy each other's cultures. I mean, that's what we're all about. We love one another. I wasn't here when the city decided to invest in $800 million in a water project. We all know we need water. That investment is to bring 250,000 people to our community. Did we have to invest $800 million for this community to bring another 100,000 people in? Someone thought so. We can't wait till we get all that water plugged in to decide how those folks are going to get here and what the quality of life for them is going to be, right? That's an $800 million bet. I'm all for it. But now we have to go from 150,000 to 250,000 and beyond. And if we don't start planning now, it's going to be too late. And we really have to, again, embrace the culture of our community, embrace the quality of life, and bring someone in to do that with us. That can't be incumbent on me, the mayor, Beth, the city manager. You should be calling Home Depot and Amazon. Honestly, no, I shouldn't be. We need someone that's going to put together a plan and then go out and ask someone to help us invest in that plan and then execute that plan. That's how things get done. I started in this community, thank God, 34 years ago with 26 employees, a work ethic, and a big loan. We're now 300 employees. We've strategically grown. We've done that with deliberate chances we take. But you know what? We run a world-class operation. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back because we make mistakes. Our dealership is nationally renowned. And I will settle for nothing less than world-class in my fellow employees. Why should we settle for less in this community? Again, I really feel strongly about this. I think this is going to really help us to engage each other more in the community. I think about, we have a wonderful baseball stadium over there. I don't know, they play, what, 40, 45 games over there? We got 300 days of an empty baseball diamond that a previous council committed millions of dollars to. We're not using it. We've got Bicentennial Park. We got a lot of inventory days there that aren't being used. So, again, I didn't expect to win to be the mayor, but I wanted to bring some ideas to the community that could help us change. And lo and behold, here we sit today with this opportunity. So I'll take responsibility for this idea because I really feel that strongly about it. And I really know that together we can make this happen, and we're going to continue to develop the quality of life of our community. We're going to invite people in here, and people are going to say, what a great community. I just shared something with Rose Marie the other day that I want to bring out at our next meeting. People are talking about our community with very positive aspects, and we have to continue to bring that light of positivity to our community. So this is not an expense. This is not spending our money. This is investing our money. And I know that there are some stats that were given to us. I don't have them in front of me. Maybe I do. You know, some of them did and some of them didn't. But Schaumburg, they have 260,000 people attend events, 78,000 people is their population. They brought in 175,000 in sponsorships and donations. St. Charles, 33,000 people, 205,000 donations and sponsorships. Those are a couple shining examples of how this position is not going to be an expense. It's going to be an investment, and it's going to create a better quality of life for all of us. Those are my comments on this. Thank you.
It is recommended Council Memo number 35925 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
I know this has been discussed back and forth, and I was hoping that maybe we could wait till the fall budget when we look at this again. Also, City Center Partnership does do a lot that we pay them for, so maybe we shouldn't be paying them so much so that we can get more over here. And again, we need other positions. We were looking at improving the neighborhood policing department. We don't have enough police officers in the neighborhoods. We talked about that. It was campaigned on by many council people that were, or prior council that were trying to run for council that didn't win. But that's number one consideration. And on this particular issue, I have received overwhelming texts and phone calls on this. Please vote no until we can look at this more closely. And please, can we just wait? So therefore, I have to represent my constituents that called me today, so I have to vote no. I know it's going to pass, but I have to vote no to represent my constituents.
Councilwoman Rudin.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hugg.
I stand by my comments of opposition yesterday. No.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is licenses and permit applications. Council Memo number 361-25, issuance of Class CG liquor license at 2565 Plainfield Road, Speed Trek. Is there a motion to approve the issuance of said liquor license?
Mayor?
Yes.
Yesterday you asked me, and I told you that we could discuss it today, and I've looked into it as far as how it affects my district too, and I think it's going to be a convenience. It's packaged liquor only. It's not BG, so it's not going to be gaming and drinking on site. It's packaged liquor only, and I think out there will be a convenience for those people that live along there. So I think it'll be good, okay to do. Thank you.
So
I would
moved.
make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo Number 363-25, ordinances associated with 1507 East Cass Street, ordinance approving a variation of use to allow a 2-unit residence, an R3 1 and 2 family residential use, and an R2A single family residential zoning district located at 1507 East Cass Street, ZBA 2025-09. Ordinance repealing a variation of use to allow the continuation of an existing pizza business, a B1 neighborhood business use, and an R2A zoning district located at 1507 East Cass Street, ZBA 1995-48. It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
Question, Mayor? Councilman Cardenas, is this your district?
I believe so, yeah.
And where are you?
I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 364-25, ordinance amending Chapter 19, Article 2 of the City of Joliet Code of Ordinances to establish 2-hour free street parking weekdays 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in zones A, B, and C in the downtown area. It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments?
Mayor?
Yep.
Yeah, again, like, I'm just going to be redundant from last night. You know, this has been a long time coming. You know, we spoke about this years ago, and Greg, I want to thank you for all your work doing this. Like the mayor said, I'm not going to talk about your hair. But anyway, yeah, long time coming. You know, all the neighbors and business owners and people that come down, visitors, they are wanting this. I think it's really going to help everything that's coming together downtown. So I just want to thank you. So thanks, Mayor.
Mayor, I got a question. Remember at the committee meeting, Greg, and I had talked about if somebody spends time there during the day and then they come back later to the same business, they could, you know, we were worried maybe they'd get a ticket. I thought of the question after the meeting last night, is this sophisticated enough, the system, that like if I go and park in Zone A for 20 minutes and I leave, do I still have 40 minutes, or, you know, an hour and 40 minutes left in that zone for the day?
It's not that sophisticated.
It's not that
It's
sophisticated.
dependent on a vehicle driving around and reading the license plate. So it's possible it may not even have seen you the first time if the vehicle wasn't driving by. So it's dependent on the patrol, if that makes sense.
So hopefully maybe down the road, this program can be improved by the vendor, you know, some more sophistication.
Potentially,
You know what my
I guess.
concern is.
Yes, yeah, I do.
For folks.
Yeah, it's not, that level of sophistication is not currently available.
So right now, the way the system works, if it does take a picture of my car and I'm there for 5 minutes in front of company A, and I come back 4 hours later, and it takes my picture again randomly, it's gonna compute me as being there all 4 hours.
That's correct, yeah. The flip side is if it doesn't, you know, you're there for an hour and 45 minutes and it doesn't pick up your vehicle, you have another 2 hours beyond that, but it's difficult to.
And I think, Beth,
say.
you know, your office can handle it certainly too. You know, we gotta work you know, there's no reason to hold this proposal up, but you see my concern on that, how that's.
I do.
We don't have, so there will be some forgiveness if something sounds reasonable. If someone gets a ticket and, you know, they can show, I know, I went to place an order, then I came back to pick up the tux later, you know.
Yeah, we're always willing to make adjustments if things aren't working, so I
And hopefully
rely
the
on your.
program will,
Yeah. Mhm.
you know, the computer program will increase so that we can. Maybe I should create the program. I can make some money. But yeah, you know, more sophistication might be. But thank you for the answer, Greg.
Greg, I owe you a public apology for that crack about your hairline last night. Please accept my apology.
Thank you. The less discussion about my hair at the council is appreciated.
Don't worry, you're sitting in the dark. No one can get this shine.
I shouldn't have said that, Greg.
It's on sing.
Anything else?
Yeah, Greg, you notice I'm saying nothing? I don't want to jinx myself.
Are we waiting to so move?
It's been motion and
It's been
seconded
motion and
already.
seconded to approve.
Yeah, so we just need to vote
I'm having
now.
a good time with this one. Just off the mood.
We're trying to get you out of that hole.
Sure, it's better than having a discussion about sluice gates on any day, right?
Yeah.
All right, Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Council memo number 365-25, ordinance approving a street name change for Adamick Lane to Walter Adamick Lane between Ruth Fitzgerald Drive and Frank Turk Drive, SN-1-25. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Beth, could we notify the people just on this street? Because not everybody knows the history behind it, do you know what I mean? There's some that you know, if they're still using Adamick, the shortened version that was confusing, can we send out a mailer to them? There's not that many. You know,
Yeah, I
definitely.
believe we have sent mailers already.
Okay.
Let me look in my notes here.
We have.
And I trust, I trust you.
Yeah, if you could fill them in, Dustin.
I trust that
that'd be good.
your team will do it.
Young lady right there.
Did you receive one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you understand what's going on? Yes. Perfect. I stand corrected.
We have proof.
There we go. I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any other comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolutions. Council memo number 367-25. Resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Joliet and the Kankakee County Emergency Telephone Board, CANCOM. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Moreno.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 368-25, resolution appropriating Rebuild Illinois bond funds for amendment number 2 to the professional engineering services for the Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3 engineering services for the Joliet Centralized Traffic Management System Improvement Project, MFT section number 21-00546-00TL. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
Mayor? And this is an example of what I discussed earlier. This is housekeeping. This is not a separate item. This is just saying we promised to pay for something that we've already approved. I would make a motion to approve.
I second it. Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 369-25, resolution appropriating Rebuild Illinois bond funds for the Advanced Traffic Management System, Phase C, Project MFT, section number 21-00546-05-TL in the amount of $1,200,000. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 370-25, resolution appropriating Rebuild Illinois bond funds for the County Line Road, Van Dyke Road to Kennedy Drive roadway improvements project, MFT section number 24-00569-00-WR, and the amount of $895,000.06. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Amendment number 371-25, resolution appropriating Rebuild Illinois funds and approving a request for expenditure authorization of Rebuild Illinois funds in the amount of $420,000 for the construction of the Garnsey Avenue Bridge over Spring Creek Improvement Project, MFT section number 11-00443-00-BR. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 372-25, resolution approving a letter of understanding with the Illinois Department of Transportation for the maintenance of traffic signals at Illinois Route 53, Chicago Street and Emerald Drive. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
Mayor?
Yep.
Just for those that didn't see the meeting yesterday, this is a common practice. Whether another taxing body completely owns a traffic signal that's placed within, which is predominantly going to be the state, or sometimes like with our neighbors with Crest Hill, half of the signal belongs to Joliet, the other half belongs to Crest Hill. This is just an agreement that Joliet, with our resources, will take care of the entire signal, but the other entity does pay us for the parts and labor. So, with that, I'd make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
So moved.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo number 373-25, resolution accepting a grant of permanent easement for 621 Wheeler Avenue for the IDOT 62R-22 contract I-80 in the Center Street interchange. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
Motion approved.
Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Good evening. I want to start by thanking and complimenting our fire and police departments on their quick response during two recent fires. One fire took place June 10th on Essington Road and the other June 16th on Karen Drive. Our firefighters' actions were instrumental in avoiding casualties, and it was great to see the police assisting the firefighters as well. I want to congratulate the 11 recruits who graduated last Friday from the Fire Department Academy. This is the first Joliet Academy graduation in 18 years. I look forward to our next graduation, and I want to thank Fire Chief Carey and his entire department for a job well done. Downtown construction. Last week's progress included the concrete base for the brick paver areas is now complete to the Clinton intersection. Final asphalt paving will be completed on Chicago Street north of Cass and partially on Clinton Street. Clinton patches will be completed this week. The work scheduled for the week of June 16th, ComEd will be replacing concrete sidewalk over their vault at the Chicago Street Bar and Grill that will impact the pedestrian walkway for about a week. They intend to do it in phases to maintain access to the pub door. So Chicago Street Pub will be open during that time. The concrete base for the brick paver areas will continue to be placed on Chicago Street north to Cass Street. Chicago Street from Van Buren to Cass Street and Clinton Street from Ottawa to west of Scott Street will be closed to all traffic to allow for reconstruction of the Chicago-Clinton intersection. A press release has been issued with these details. Daytime parking on Chicago Street north of Jefferson Street is not allowed between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. to allow for construction activities continue. During construction, access to all businesses and the Ottawa Street parking garage will remain open. We again appreciate everyone's continued patience and cooperation as improvements move forward. The Office of Emergency and Disaster Management in the Police Department are providing staff emergency response training. The training session includes responses to fire, tornado, and active threat situations, as well as hands-only CPR, AED, and medical kit orientation. Our goal is to have all staff trained and prepared to respond in the event of an emergency, and those of you who have not been able to participate in the CERT program, John Lukanzik's more than happy to provide the training to you as well. So just let me know if you'd like to do that. Bridge update. IDOT has indicated that the Jefferson Street Bridge is anticipated to be reopened by the end of June. Shortly after Jefferson Street is reopened, the Ruby Street Bridge will close for approximately 2 months. Upon completion of the Ruby Street Bridge project, the Cass Street Bridge will be closing for structural repairs and rehabilitation through late 2026. The dates we've been given should be considered approximate dates, as the bridges are complex structures and unforeseen delays often pop up. So I know it sounds like a lot of bad news with more bridges being down, but at least they're only one at a time. And that's what we've been able to negotiate with IDOT, to not have more than one down at a time. So we consider that a win. Events. Last week, IHSA State Baseball Tournament at Slammer Stadium drew a large group of people to Joliet. I want to thank all those involved in the planning of the IHSA tournament, including the Heritage Corridor, our Economic Development Division, the Police Department, Emergency Management, and Public Works, and all of our employees who volunteered over the weekend. That concludes my report.
Thank you.
Next, we have public comment. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening?
Hi, it's me again. Monica Sistemoff here. This time I'm going to speak to Councilwoman Quillman's comments about the City Center Partnership. So I'm the chairman of the board for the City Center Partnership. This is Vicki Sanchez, interim executive director for the City Center Partnership, and board member Michelle Arana, and owner of Internode. The City Center Partnership has an operational budget that is in fact submitted to and approved by City Council annually. You don't pay us. I know that I'm standing here before you as an unpaid person, we have an unpaid board of directors that's very active and meets monthly. The operational funds come from the SSA tax that's imposed on building owners in the special service area. We would typically have 2 paid employees, 1 full-time executive director, and our part-time events and marketing manager. Vicki's been filling in as interim, while an unpaid committee works tirelessly outside of our full-time jobs to locate a suitable replacement for our executive director. The City Center Partnership so far in the year 2023 to 2024 approved $189,000 in grants, and we hosted several events that had about 16,000 in attendance. 23 to 24, we had 22 new businesses or businesses expand. So we're very active, and I just want to defend the honor of the CCP.
Oh, I wasn't by any means disparaging what you guys do. Because I was on that City Center Partnership for many, many years. I know what you guys do. I was talking about something else, but thank you for what you all do. You work hard.
Thank you. I did want to also mention, as far as the events, the event you were looking for was Follow Your Art.
Follow your art. Yeah, that's okay.
We also do, well, let me back up for a second, because 3.5 years ago is when I started in this role, and I would plan the events that I was asked to plan for that first year. And after that first year, we reassessed and decided that events like Pause on 66 were not checking all of our boxes and really achieving any of our goals as the City Center Partnership. We were helping dogs and cats get adopted, and we were helping other organizations raise money, but what it wasn't doing was getting people and customers spending money in the businesses. And so in the last 2 years, that was my personal goal, is to develop events that were actually bringing people, customers in the businesses, spending money, getting them familiar with owners like
these two, and really understanding that downtown is the heart of the city. And so that was where we came up with Shamrock Stroll and Follow Your Art when nobody wants to come out ever in February. And we did get people to come out. And just events that actually get people into the businesses spending money. Am I right? Okay.
Exactly.
So-
You guys are doing all the work.
Thank you. And I'm
I get
glad
it.
that you guys also approved the position for the events, because while I love planning events for the downtown, I have very specific goals, and like I said, getting people to spend money downtown, whereas this position will get people to just go out and explore all of the wonderful places there are in downtown, event venues, Bicentennial Park, and all the other great venues, just to have fun and just explore the town of Joliet and see what it has to offer and stop some of the negativity that you see on social media. And I mean, that drives me crazy when I see the people, your own residents disparaging such a great city. And so anyway, I'm sorry I went off on a little tirade there about social media, but this town is a great town, and you guys should be proud of it. I know I am.
We are proud. I'm proud of you guys for all the work that you do, but you weren't getting enough credit. That was the thing, and people don't understand all the things that you guys do. So you're doing this. You're already doing this, and from my constituents that I was talked to, they didn't want me to vote for it. So, you know, it passed, okay? And good for you guys, and I wish you all the luck in the world. And thank you for all the hard work you all already do.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Arana. I own Inner Granarian Home, which is downtown Joliet. I've also proudly started Chicago Street Markets, which is an event company focused mainly here in Joliet. We currently run the downtown Joliet Farmers Market, which I've seen many of our council people at. We also do the Chicago Street Night Market, which is once a month on a Saturday night. And I also personally partner with the Village of New Lenox, and we've brought a farmers market to the New Lenox Commons. What I've seen and why I think that the position of a full-time event coordinator is so important for our city is because there is a stigma with Joliet that there are not events, that people don't come out, people don't spend money. What we're doing, what I'm trying to do is to change that and to bring events to the city, me personally doing it. So having someone that works for the city who has the outreach that is able to reach out to sponsorships to bring these corporations into our city and also keep the money from our residents here. There is no reason that our residents need to be going to these outlying cities and villages and spending their money when we have the opportunity to keep them right here and to provide everything they need. So thank you for approving the position. I really hope it grows. Again, since I do work with another village, I see what their events coordinators are doing, and it's not just one coordinator for a village that's a quarter of the size of us. There's 3 people working in that one position and doing events every single night during the summer, multiple times a week, bringing concerts, bringing food truck rallies, bringing car shows, bringing all kinds of kids events. Like, we have the possibility to do it here. And again, bringing someone on that can specifically focus on that is going to be a great resource for our city. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to come and speak about something I think I've heard that the city actually tried to execute upon during maybe a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years ago within economic development, but it was something called the Young Developers Program. Not too sure if that had any legs to it or anything like that, but Mayor, I heard you speak about you talking with a lot of big developers. And wanted to see if there's a chance in which something like that could actually have legs inside the city. And also there's an opportunity in which there could be like a pilot program, maybe even a speaker series in which if there's an opportunity or a chance or nuances in those conversations or relationships in which you can speak to some of these developers looking to build inside of Joliet and say, hey, if you're going to build inside of Joliet, I really would like you to kind of teach inside of Joliet with some of our individuals looking to get inside the industry over high-level business topics in their business, whether that's land acquisition, how they actually structure their business. Could be, you know, a 4-week, 8-week series in which they partner with Joliet Junior College or St. Francis, but something like that. See if it's in place, if it's in works, we'd love to know a little bit more about it. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Diane Matter, and I reside at 1316 New Lenox Road. Ladies and gentlemen, city officials, and fellow community members, today I want to talk to you about the power of change in our community. Annexation, the process of incorporating land into a municipality, it is not set in stone. As we look at the examples of the 2018 and 2020, we can see the annexation decisions can be revisited and revised. In 2018 and 2020, we saw annexation agreements being amended and updated. These changes reflect the evolving needs of our community and the importance of adaptability and municipal decision-making. Under Illinois law, municipalities have the authority to annex and detach land. In fact, the Illinois Supreme Court has upheld the principle that annexation ordinances can be validly passed as seen in a 1963 case. In Joliet, we have seen the impact of annexation decisions on our community. By understanding the history and evolution of annexation laws, we can better navigate the complexity of municipal governance. The key takeaway is that annexation is not a fixed or permanent decision. As our community grows and changes, we have the power to reassess and revise our annexation agreements to ensure they serve the best interest of our citizens. As I stand here today, I urge you to consider and revise the annexation agreement to prioritize the safety and well-being of our residents and patrons, particularly in the area surrounding Love's Truck Stop. One pressing concern is the lack of sidewalks on the city property. As we move forward with future developments, it's crucial that we invest in infrastructure that supports pedestrian safety. Sidewalks are a basic necessity, and it's only fair that our community have a safe place to walk. I implore you to include provisions for sidewalk installation in the annexation agreement. Furthermore, I'd like to address the issue of fencing. While a standard 6-foot wood fence may seem sufficient, we all know that it can deteriorate over time, becoming an eyesore. I propose a 13-foot brick fence instead. Not only will it provide a sturdy barrier between residential and commercial areas, but it will also enhance the aesthetic appeal of our city. A well-maintained fence will protect both Love's Truck Stop and our residential neighborhoods, ensuring a harmonious coexistence. As a resident who lives in close proximity to the truck stop, I understand the importance of finding a balance between commercial development and residential concerns. A brick fence will not only serve as a physical barrier, but also as a symbol of our commitment to maintaining a thriving and visually appealing community. But I also want to emphasize the importance of transparency in this process. We need clear communication and open dialogue about the plans and decisions that affect our community. We deserve to know what's happening and why. Let's ensure that the city provides regular updates and opportunities for public input so we can work together to build a better future for our city. Let us plan for the future and prioritize the safety, beauty, and prosperity of our city. A well-designed and well-maintained Love's Truck Stop will not only benefit the local economy, but also enhance the overall quality of life for our residents. The mayor had a point. It is time to plan for the future. Now is the time to make revisions on the annexation of Love's Truck Stop. It's not too late to plan for future developments. I urge you to consider these revisions to the annexation agreement and work with us to create a safer, more attractive, and more sustainable community for everyone. Thank you for your time, and I really hope you take these considerations into effect immediately. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Peggy Grandel, and I'm from Rye Hill Drive in Joliet. And I came here just because I thought this was something very important to say. Sorry, I'm in disarray. I've been working in the backyard all day. I just wrote this down. Today, I stand before you with gratitude and respect for the dedicated police officers of the city of Joliet. Their commitment to public safety and community engagement has not gone unnoticed, especially during the recent Saturday protest for King's Day. In times of heightened emotions and passionate voices, they managed to uphold the values of safety and respect for all participants. The professionalism and readiness to serve ensured that everyone could express their thoughts freely. It's a challenging task, one that requires not just courage, but a deep understanding of our community's needs. They are not just protectors of our streets, but also guardians of our community spirit. I and many are grateful for their service and dedication. I just wanted to thank them for their efforts, their understanding, and the willingness to stand by the ideals of justice and equality. I have a little side note I wanted to add here, not related to this, and I apologize because I came into the meeting, I don't know the context of what's been discussed, because I came to say this. But just a comment about Pause on 66. The first 3 years of that event really did bring in a lot of business to the downtown. And things change, right? People change. What they like to see changes, but I just, because I was one of the organizers, that kind of hit home for me. But really what I wanted to say is we were out on Saturday and the police officers were just nothing short of amazing. Polite, community, helping people, helping them cross the street, doing everything that was out there. And I think sometimes they get a bum rap. That's totally unfair. So that's all I came to say. So thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, seeing none, mayor and council comments.
Me. Well, I'm going to add on to what everyone said. I don't think I could say it better, but I too want to say thank you to our first responders, our fire department, our police department, our emergency management coordinator. I was on the scene immediately when the fire took place on Essington Road, and watching them work and do what they do best is nothing short of a miracle. They took care of everyone so well, and if not for them, we would have had loss of life for sure in that building. So I thank them again from the bottom of my heart. Secondly, I want to say Craig Smith, who has been working for the city for, I think it's 29 years it was. He had a couple events honoring him this past week, excuse me. And again, I want to say happy retirement to him. We are losing such a great employee of the city. He was so dedicated, he did everything, and he could do anything. When you look at the iron workers at the stadium, at Slammer Stadium, he took them and they were just garbage after wear and tear, and he revamped them and remade them to look what they look like today. I don't even know how he did it, but he's a true artist, and I wish him all the best on his retirement.
Thank you.
I would agree with everything you just said. It was quite a party that they had on Friday night. He will be sorely missed. He was a wonderful man. It wasn't anything he couldn't do, so I won't reiterate everything that Sherry just said, but it's all true, all true. A wonderful man. I've been pretty busy this week. I went to the Cathedral area meeting, and they're getting ready for their summer, the fall wine walk. Everybody's invited. They'll be posted later on. And then on Monday night, that same evening, I went to Bicentennial Park to listen to the NICOR selling their rate hike. I was there to speak on behalf of the constituents. I was surprised I was the only one there to speak. But I was very adamant about it. There was very few people. It was very short notice. And so there weren't the people that should have been there that wanted to be there. They found out about it later. But I was there to voice people's concerns. And, with the prices going up and the uncertainty about tariffs, people are upset, food, gasoline, rent, and now besides NICOR, ComEd wants to raise prices too. And seniors on fixed incomes and families that are young families that are just trying to get by, they're having a hard time. And this will be like the 6th or 7th raise in the last 5 years that NICOR is asking for. And they couldn't understand why people couldn't be down there. Well, there's a lot of people that are handicapped, a lot of seniors that depend on others to take them down there, or they have to have special transportation. So of course they weren't there. So I was there to voice their concerns. It's cooking, it's heating, it's gasoline, it's laundry, everything is going up in expense, and every penny counts these days. And Social Security right now is also uncertain. And then their CEO got up, or one of the gentlemen, maybe not the CEO, but they were talking about how they pay their employees. And he said to me, or not to me, but the audience, our employees get Cadillac pay for blue-collar jobs. They make $127,000. Wow, that didn't go over well. And then they were talking about all their management people that were going to get raises, and we're all thinking they're going to get these raises on the backs of our taxpayers and people that pay for their services. And so I got up again and I said, you know what? Good for you, good for those people, but many of our residents do not make those types of money. And this will be a 161% increase overall. So just so you know, I was there, like I always speak, I can't be quiet. I have to speak on behalf of not only the citizens and our residents, but people in general. These hikes are crazy, and now ComEd wants to do the same thing. Where does it stop? Where does it stop? So it's not over yet, but they're still talking about it, and I don't know why and why now, with everything that's going on with the whole world and with our president, and again, not knowing where the tariffs and all that. So I'll change my mantra here. Now, congratulations to all the Joliet Fire Department graduation that was on Thursday. They graduated, and there was 29 graduates. Was that correct? Did I get that wrong? 11. I'm sorry. I got 29 something. That was 29 years of Craig Smith. I'm sorry, my notes got jumbled here. So congratulations to all our new fire department graduations. And also, on a happy note, I would like to congratulate my great niece Katie, and who we raised, and her husband Mark, who just had another baby boy. His name is Benson. He was born on that Thursday on June 12th. And happy to him and happy to the family, and congratulations to everyone. So be well and stay safe. Happy Father's Day last week, and just be well and stay safe, everybody, and be kind. We're not always going to agree, but we can agree to disagree. Thank you.
Just one fun note, this weekend's the Taste of Joliet. There's concerts, other activities for family regardless of the age, starting Friday at 5 o'clock and going till Sunday night. And it's at the Joliet Memorial Stadium. Please help the Joliet Park District to make this event a success, and I hope everyone can enjoy themselves there. That's it.
Yes, I want to wish a safe, for everybody to have a safe time at the Taste of Joliet. It should be fun. It's going to be real hot, so everybody stay cool, drink a lot of water, and don't forget to bring your pets inside. Don't leave them too much outside in the sidewalks. This is going to be real hot. Thank you.
Susanna?
Thank you. I had my 2nd District Advisory Council meeting. It was amazing. You know how you have a vision in your head of how you would like it to go? It went exactly like that. We had 6 working groups. I want to thank Councilman Juan Marino for being there. The 6 working groups discussed the use of cannabis tax dollars and also housing in District 5. And I want to say it was very productive, informative, and so we gathered all the information, and I would like to thank everybody who participated in that. We'll be doing another one in July. I also want to thank so much all my fellow council members for allowing me to Zoom in. I got a virus. I'm very down and out, and I appreciate the mayor and Lauren O'Hara and the IT team making sure that I could fulfill my obligations. So I wanted to thank my fellow council members for voting to allow me to do this. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Is there any? Okay. I'm going to speak briefly on my philosophy. We had a vote tonight that did win for this new position. It was mentioned earlier that after I requested it last night, Kevin, thank you, you gave us some numbers, some quantifiable numbers I asked for other communities. Population, 180,000 for Aurora. They had 80 events with 87,000 people, and they collected 25,000 in sponsorships. And this is apparently with a full-time person. Elgin, 114, almost 115,000 people, 50 events with 70,000 people, 40,000 in-kind contributions. Schaumburg, this is funny. Is this an error, Kevin? Schaumburg had 260,000 people and collected 175,000 in sponsorships for 8,002 events.
8,800 events, the two is a footnote.
Okay, there's no.
Yeah, there's a footnote.
Okay.
They have a village-owned and operated theater.
All right. You see what I'm saying? On your
Yes.
spreadsheet, it doesn't say footnote. It's just 8,002.
Yeah, it's a small two, sorry.
Not in mine, no. It's the same thing, yeah. Same size. That's what I
Sorry.
8,002. I did the quick math. That's 35 people per event.
Yeah.
So these numbers, I'll be frank, didn't bowl me over. They're positive for the communities. New Lenox, which is the closest one mentioned, had 19 events. I don't know if New Lenox was being referenced. I thought it was, saying that they have 3 staff members doing this. 3 staff members on 19 events. Doesn't seem very effective. My philosophy of this, people, emotion is emotion, and we can all play with emotions. And people throw out the term quality of life quite a bit. And the quality of life, and my philosophy on life, and as an elected official legislating, is decided by each individual in their family, what their quality of life is. I can guarantee you the biggest way to affect somebody's quality of life is continue taxing them to death so they have less and less money in their pocket. Our goal should be to spend as little as possible. We should encourage nonprofits to have the events as they've had for many years. We've had successful events for many years. Of course, they got rid of the Easter parade, and I was disappointed they never brought it back many years ago when I first got elected. We've got New Orleans North. We've got several events that have been done, that are done, different events. I don't know if they have recovered since the not doing them during the COVID, from the Forge, some musical events. We've got a lot of events down there. Expanding the budget, expanding expenses instead of trying to roll in expenses just means taking more money from the taxpayer. And that's the worst, easiest way to affect somebody's quality of life. Can't go on vacation this year, our property tax double. Can't do, let's leave the money in the pocket is my philosophy. Let's provide the services. I don't believe in nanny state. I don't want my government distracting me with, here, we'll give you free entertainment. We'll raise your kids for you. We'll entertain your kids. That's not it. I believe in family, and I believe that the best way to have a quality of life is to leave as much money, and hard-earned money, in the blue-collar and white-collar members of this community's pocket to decide how they want to spend it on their family to create their own quality of life. That's all my comments were, just to clarify. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to encourage all of our residents to support the Taste of Joliet this coming weekend, and I want to wish all the great people over there at the Park District the best of luck on this weekend. So, thank you.
Likewise, just let people know about the Taste of Joliet, and obviously you had to be careful. It's going to be a hot one. We wanted the summer to hit, and it's coming. So everyone just look out for your neighbor. Like you said, keep your pets inside. It feels 90 degrees to us. It's 100 and more to our pets. And also the Slammers are having a Hispanic Heritage Night on Saturday night as well. So there's a lot of stuff happening in downtown going on as far as even with the Taste of Joliet. So just stay cool, look out for your neighbor, and enjoy the weekend.
Thank you. I'm just going to run through a few of the things that I attended this week, and one of them was the Housing Authority ribbon cutting at Stevenson Crossing. I attended that with Jan and Susanna. It was really a symbol of how things can change in our community. That building was built in the 70s. They've refurbished that to a wonderful house for housing for seniors, and it's just amazing what they did with that property. Went to Star Wars Day, kicked that off. That's been a program in the city for, 15 years or so? That's always fun. That's at Slammers Field. Went to, I spoke at the IHSA tournament, introduced Scott Spezio, who was born in Joliet but raised in Morris. He's got 2 World Series rings, and his story was extremely interesting. Again, there were a couple hundred kids in the stands, plus adults. Mr. Mudron was at that one with me. The fire department graduation, that was really cool. 11 young men indoctrinated into our fire department. For the first time in 18 years, they did that in-house. And they now have the ability to know most of the guys are going to work with now in the future. It was really great to see, and we're grateful to the fire department for doing that. Did a ribbon cutting at Sought Out Grounds, 310 Ottawa. Nice event. What else do I have? There is a shredding event on June 27th, co-hosted by myself and State Rep Larry Walsh Jr. from 10 to noon at the Joliet Memorial Stadium parking lot. And I know I go there and it's packed, and we love to be able to help people get rid of that stuff. Last but not least, this Thursday we commemorate Juneteenth, a day that marks the end of slavery in the United States and reminds us of the enduring struggle for freedom and equality. It's a time for reflection, learning, recommitment to building a stronger, more inclusive country and city for all of us. Happy Juneteenth to everyone. Thank you all, and God bless Joliet.
I did receive a request for closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance, pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Verdon?
Aye.